So she has soapy water first. These are the tools you're going to need off the hop. And then she's got a cold knife. We also have an air knife. So this is the same thing as this, but it's hooked up to air. So Michelle likes her cold knives, so she's going to rip this sucker out with her cold knife. And then her soapy water. So you have to make sure that you're spraying from the inside and the outside, depending on what you're doing. So the cold knife, you're going to spray on the outside. And what the soapy water does is allows that cold knife to slip in there easier. She's really getting it soaped up, just to make sure that the blade doesn't start biting in there. So she's just spraying a little bit up top, getting it nice and lubed up. And then she's gonna start right in the corner. Try not to be in her way. So she's getting it. She's gonna start it like that. There's a rubber up there, so she's gonna have to get around that. Sometimes it's really tight in that corner, so you might have a little bit of trouble getting it started at first. So what she's gonna do is cut that rubber off first to get that out of her way, so she doesn't have to worry about getting underneath it. Because remember, we don't need this rubber on this truck. Some of them you do have to keep, so just keep that in mind. But this truck, if you want, you can look at the windshield on the stand first and see if it has rubber. If it has a rubber, then you're fine. You can cut this off. You don't need it on there. So she's just getting that out of her way. And now she's gonna get in there with her cold knife a lot easier. And remember, this is one of the hardest things to do at first, is getting this cold knife in and getting it started. So she's really trying to get that sucker in there. And obviously you can't, you need to be careful because you can scratch the paint. So now that she's got that in there, did you see where she started though? She started right where this plastic piece was, so that she could turn it in there. And if she touched on the plastic, it wasn't gonna scratch anything. So now that she's got it in there, she's gonna start wiggling it. And what she's doing is she's pulling with her left hand and her right hand. Well, she's pulling with her left hand and pushing with her right. And now she's just gonna back it up a little bit because it's stuck. And the biggest thing is to try to keep your cold knife 90 degrees to the window. So once she gets it started a little bit, she'll be all right. It's just this initial start is the hardest part. So she's just wiggling it back and forth there to get an open space so she can really get that cutting. Spraying it again because it's not as soapy as it was when we first sprayed. She's really just trying to get that first couple inches started. If you have a second person, once you get it to about here on the windshield, they can go to the other side and pull from the other side that way. And it helps out a lot trying to keep that straight. Be careful too, see how she's standing? I'm just gonna switch around. She's standing on the inside of the door here so that she can put leverage basically on her butt and on her feet to really try to push that cold knife that way. If you're standing on a stool trying to do this at the start, you're probably gonna have the stool slip out from you. So make sure that you're standing just like she is and trying to get that started. If you're short like us, me and Michelle, Michelle's taller than I am, but if you're shorter like us,